This will be music theory number 5, and it was saved in the music folder. Now, we left last time talking about the size of the notes, how they are done so that they go faster than the others. So now this way you can see how these long notes last and the short notes are shorter and so forth. So you see how these are symbols in the language of music. Now, all we've learned so far is how short and fast notes move in time, but we haven't seen anything about how high or low they sound. That's the second thing about this language. Now, that means pitch. The sound of a note, when you are talking to musicians, they will use the word pitch. What is the pitch? Is it high or low? Okay, so in the language of music, notes follow each other from left to right. We've already said so. Now, this tells us something about how fast notes go relative to each other, but all by themselves, notes cannot tell you what pitch they are. Of course not. For this, we use symbols of lines. Now, the rounded note is one symbol. The other symbol for the musical language is our lines. Not only lines, here's 2 lines, but you all have spaces between lines. There aren't just lines, there'd be nothing in between. So you'll have spaces between lines. Therefore, lower sounding notes are written on lower lines, and higher sounding notes are written on higher lines. So we are turning high and low sound into notes on higher or low lines. Now you see what we're doing the same as we did before. What we're hearing, we have to visualize. We're hearing a higher note, but we don't know where it is. Well, you have to have it on a line, so then you do know where it is. And if it's lower, it's on a lower line. Now, don't forget, it also peaks on a lower space. This note here is higher than the note down here, but this one in the middle is lower than the top one, but higher than the lower one on this line. So the spaces have to be counted as well. Now, notes that can follow each other up and down from the lines to space, lines then between them, or they can skip over certain lines of spaces, okay? Both up and down. This is how to show pitches and what gives this sound what we call a melody or tunes, okay? So what you're seeing here then is it's not just that one is on this line and one is on this line. One can be on this line and this one can be 4 lines higher on this line. So you know that note goes from dee da, as far as pitch or melody or tune goes. That's why these lines are so important. It tells you the sound of the music. That's how it is symbolized in lines and spaces. So, therefore, notes follow each other from left to right and up and down on the lines of spaces to show us how high or low they are from one another. Now, here we go with another example. Now, as you can see, these are lines. You see the lines, the little spaces between them? Okay. And you can see that these notes go from left to right, all the way from over here to over here. But then, look, you have them on lines. Look what they do now. Notice that? These lines here are moving up from one line to a space to a line to a space, and then they're using down from the same line they were on to another lower line and lower space. So you see these all move up and down at the same time as moving across. That is called pitch. This is called how long. This is called how high and low. So that is called pitch. Now, I will show you something else, and then we'll have to stop this one. But also, notes adjacent to each other that are right next to each other or on lines like that. But notes that are not adjacent to each other but skip, you see here in this one. Notice that. That one is on a different line than any of the others. So you don't have to have them on those skip. That gives them something further apart. So all melodies and tunes have something to do with being close together and skipping. We will continue shortly.